Hi, I'm Lee Burkeen with Louisiana Football Magazine, TV Magazine. We've got a great show tonight. Rudy Macklin is one of our guests. We also got Coach Jim Gatlin from Northwood High School calling in from Shreveport. Garen Hargon, a big-time recruit from Shreveport, Captain Shreve High School. And also Aaron Meyer, the head coach of White Castle, played at UCLA. That's right, he was a Bruin, and also at John Curtis High School. We got much, much more. We'll be right back in just a moment.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain. Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
I'll leave for a little while. And all you other letters think you can take over my town. Look at you. None of you's even involved. If the people want the money they deserve for their accident,
The guarantee.
and as for you other letters, it's time you were erased.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Welcome back. Lee Burkeen, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We want to thank Superior Grill. Been with us since I started the business out of my apartment in '96. And he was the first advertiser to say, we'll take a chance on you. That was 23 years ago. Bob Kirchhoff and his family, great people. They got a new location on Highland Road. They're on Government Street, where I go to. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport. They're on St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans. And they're also in Birmingham, Alabama. I want to get back. Before I introduce my first guest, the legend to me as a kid growing up, you know, I say kid, heck, I'm 49 years old, but growing up watching basketball, I like football, but basketball was my passion, believe it or not, growing up. And the 81 team I thought was one of the best teams in the history of LSU, the 80, 79, 78. Coach Dale Brown had a lot of great players. And one of his great players, one of his first signees out of state was Rudy Macklin from Louisville, Kentucky. You know, when you go to Kentucky, and I know Rudy will tell me this, but I have to learn it's Louisville. Because I'd say Louisville, and they'd go, no, Louisville. And I'm like, all right, kind of like going to Iowa, Louisiana, and you go, Iowa. No, it's Iowa. But Rudy, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
I'm honored.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, you were a two-time All-American at LSU. You played from 1976 to 1981. Two-time All-American, SEC Player of the Year your senior year. Still hold the all-time leading rebounding record. People say, well, Shaq, no. He didn't break your rebounding record still. No. 1,276 rebounds. That's incredible, man. 6'7". Wasn't 6'10", wasn't 7 feet. Nope. Second all-time, second all-league time in score when he finished with 2,080 points. Atlanta Hawks for 2 years, the 52nd pick of the NBA draft. New York Knicks, number 40, his jersey's retired. It hangs in the rafters at the Pete Maravich facility. And what is, I've got to ask you this, Rudy. What is a guy in Louisville, Kentucky, a big-time recruit, 1976, LSU basketball is not even thought of, except Bob Pettit maybe and Pistol Pete. Why does a kid from Louisville, Kentucky sign with LSU in 1976?
You got to give a lot of credit to Coach Dale Brown because when I started narrowing the schools down, and he had did something unique that the other coaches didn't do. He posed a question to me. He said, Rudy, if you were to go to all those other big-time basketball schools that are recruiting you, they would do well if you went there or not. He said, but if you came to LSU, you can always say you built something. And that always stuck out in my mind because when he came to my high school that day, he wanted me to take him to see where I learned how to play in the Park and Recreation with a park called Shawnee Park. And Denny Crum had called. And
The
said,
legendary Louisville coach.
Yep, he called and said, don't go anywhere till I get there, because he was going to take me to see Muhammad Ali.
Whoa,
Now,
they're getting bigger than that.
Yeah, so if Muhammad Ali would have told me to stay home, I would have stayed home. So Dale Brown said, let's go see this park. And so Denny Crum was pulling in, we pulling out, and I said, well, let me tell Coach Crum we'll be back. He said, no, we're not going to be gone long, which is a good move on his part. And so we went to the park, and that's when he told me, he said, if you come to LSU, you can always say you built something. And we spent the next 2 hours in the park going over the style of play, the players that he recruited around me. And he said, this is what we're going to do. We want to be a running team. We're going to play tough defense. And my dream, his dream became my dream. And so everybody asked me, why would you choose LSU? It's a football school. They were last at the SEC. And I always tell people I'm going to build something.
And it worked out, man. Yeah. Final Four.
Yeah.
Y'all had one of the greatest teams ever in the history of LSU basketball. One of my favorite point guards you signed with, Ethan Martin. You know, you said that it's a question later in the show. I ask you about your best teammate, most talented teammate. I don't want to give it out now, but I know who that guy is. And then, I mean, you had Cookie Man Cook.
Yeah, my roommate.
Your roommate. The late Cookie Man Cook, Greg Cook, was a phenomenal center. And then, obviously, Dwayne Scales came a year later. And a lot of great players on that team, and a lot of great games. I remember the song Celebrate came out in '81.
Oh, yeah.
Cool in the Gang. Everybody in Baton Rouge had I think everybody bought the soundtrack to that.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
That became the team song, I think.
Yeah, we had several of them.
Being in Louisville, I've been to Louisville one time, Rudy.
Yeah.
I went for 5 days. I stayed in Hopkinsville, Kentucky.
Oh, my mother's hometown.
Come on.
Yeah.
Great place. Saw 5,000 deer for 4 mornings. And, long driveways, I mean, just a beautiful place. The KFC original house was there. I wanted to go to that. That's a landmark, you know, his original house. And but I didn't know you had family, because that's only about an hour.
Yeah, hour and a half.
Yeah,
maybe 2 if you put out as you drive. But that's my mother's hometown, and we played the semifinals of the state tournament in high school. It was her hometown, Hopkinsville, that knocked us out. And my mom said, well, the country boys got you, huh?
Louisville, I'll tell you, the food in Louisville's good. We went to a place like a Mel's Diner downtown.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
with the football coaches.
Yeah, right.
And the campus is a little transit, but great place. They love their basketball. I remember, you would love this, Rudy. It's football season and it's basketball season.
Right.
And I go in a restaurant trying to catch Peyton Manning and the Broncos. Well, the guys in there said, have you been informed where you are today? You're in the state of Kentucky. You're not going to watch football.
That's right.
And there was 40 TVs. And we went to 10 different restaurants. They said, look, you're not watching football in Louisville.
No.
Not with basketball on.
That's right.
I mean, basketball's still king in Kentucky.
Basketball's still king no matter what. And they talked about having professional basketball teams come back, like we had the Kentucky Colonels. But Louisville's so big and impactful, they didn't want a professional basketball team. They wanted to be the only game in town. Man, and so it worked. And my best friend, Dal Griffith, played at Louisville, and my other friend, Bobby Turner. And so I chose to leave to come to LSU. But Louisville basketball, you got Kentucky down the road 75 miles away, the University of Kentucky in Lexington. And that's always a big rivalry. So I came from a basketball state. So it took a basketball guy to come here to help fulfill the dream.
And then when you go an hour the other way, or not even 30 minutes, you're in Indiana.
That's right. Right across the bridge is New Albany. We used to go play pickup games over there. That's when I first ran into Larry Bird in high school.
Who has the best basketball, Indiana?
Oh, Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky, man.
The heck with Bobby Knight and all that stuff. We're going to take a break. When we come back, I've got some questions for Rudy Macklin. Some involve football, some involve basketball. We'll be right back in just a moment. I love it.
I'm injury lawyer E. Eric Gaylord. There's a Superman comic where he leaves Earth and comes back only to find a bunch of other superheroes trying to fight evil, but just not getting the job done. Well, I'm back. Now there's all these other lawyers on TV saying they can help you with your injury claim, but something's just not the same. There's only one Superman, and there's only one E. E. Eric Gaylord. eGuarantee.com. Get the E. Guarantee.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
Hi, we are live with the PPTV network, where one of the top athletes is about to make his important decision. We know his character, and nothing will hold him back.
I'm glad to have my family and friends here for this choice. It's more than my career. It will affect the rest of my life. I choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The decision is in. Why choose Peak?
Their reputation and their record of success is unmatched.
When it matters most, another patient chooses Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and microencapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The right team, the Wright Group.
Welcome back, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. If you can't find the preview issue from this summer, go to our website, lafootballmagazine.com. Also, daily articles from my interns and also Jace Lejeune that does a good job with our articles. We always pick recruits. Rudy would like this all over Louisiana. We pick out recruits every week. We do 4 to 5 articles on the site. Check those out. There's bios on top recruits, and it's team stories. You know, we don't just talk about the teams that are ranked, because there's talent all over this state in football, and we talk about everybody. Continuing with Rudy Macklin. Rudy, I wanted to share with the fans, because boxing is global. Mm-hmm. And growing up, Muhammad Ali, my dad was a huge fan of Muhammad Ali, and I was too. I was a young kid, and he was bigger than life. But you had a chance to be around him a lot growing up. He was pretty accessible in Louisville growing up.
Oh, yeah. I went around him a lot because I was like 8 years old around that time.
Yeah.
But he'd be at the park, Shawnee Park a lot, and had his convertible Cadillac, and he'd be there talking trash, rhyming and that kind of stuff. And we'd sneak off the block. Me and my friends would go down and try to see him and hear him talk smack. And we grew up in the same part of town. He went to a rival high school, Central High, and I went to Shawnee High. My brother and sisters went to Shawnee High too. And so we all grew up in the same part of town. And so we just always get a chance to get a glimpse of him when he comes by in his car. And I remember when he lost to Joe Frazier the first time. And I cried like a baby. But he was my hero, he was.
I bet you nobody wanted to mess with Muhammad Ali in Louisville.
Oh, man. Very generous guy too,
Talking about your NBA career, what was it like playing for the Hawks for a couple of years?
Well, it was amazing because I was drafted in the 3rd round because they didn't think I could play facing the hoop because I always played my back to the basket. And so when I came to the camp, I came pretty much ready. I told my best friend, Darryl Griffith, I said, if you can get me to where I can handle the ball well enough and increase the range on my jump shot, I'll be able to make the team. I just wanted to make the team. Because 3rd rounders, most times didn't make it.
Right.
Well, I did, and I was MVP of the rookie camp. Then I had to go to free agent camp where the guys from overseas come and try out. I had to beat them out.
The big guys. Yeah.
And then the veteran camp, and so Al Wood was the #1 pick for the Hawks. And he played the same position as myself. He hurt his shoulder.
Okay.
And so then I stepped in and started the lineup, and John Drew was the other small forward. He was out. He came back, and they moved me to the guard spot. So I played 2 positions. I played the guard forward, and I practiced with the guards every day.
You played big your whole career.
Oh, yeah, big, and now I had to play guard.
Guard.
So they broke me down, technically, my footwork. I had to learn how to guard the smaller guards out there.
Yeah.
And I had to learn not to go rush to go get a rebound. I had to watch backcourt. So it was a whole different transition for me, but it served me well because when the small forward goes out, I go to the guard spot, and then when had to make another substitution, I go back to the small forward.
And at that level, you got to learn it quick.
Yes, I had to learn very quick. So I was a guard forward. I was a swing man. And so my first swing man debut was against George Gervin. And had a great game, and so I learned how to play that. And so it made me my stock rose if I just could have stayed healthy.
And then you played a little bit also with another team. You had your other team that you played for.
Yeah, I played when I was with the Knicks. When I got hurt and got out of the league, I had to go to the CBA to get back in shape. Well, the Knicks was going to bring me back, but the Clippers came calling. We won the CBA championship, and my coach was Phil Jackson.
Phil Jackson.
Yep, we were with the Albany Patroons. We won the championship, and then the Clippers called and offered me more money, and so I went and played with the Clippers.
We got some pictures of you, Rudy, from your days at LSU and during the days here. This is
look at those shorts, man.
Look at that. That was stylish, though, man. That was in style.
That was ugly.
Remember Dr. J had that. That was his thing.
Yeah, that's
he had
true.
those long socks.
Yeah.
This is you always, look, one of those 1,300 rebounds almost.
Well,
in your
being
career.
physical was part of it.
In Indiana, that wasn't easy back then with
That was
Bobby
not
Knight.
easy. No, it wasn't easy at all.
This you had a few dunks too.
I had a vertical leap back then, young legs.
You and Dominique Wilkins were known as the sky guys.
And we
Y'all could
wound
get
up being teammates. You know?
That's incredible in Atlanta.
Yeah.
This is your jump shot.
Oh, that was an interesting game. That was against UNO when they had a great team. Had a great
packed.
team.
Look at the crowd.
Yeah. They beat us that game a little bit.
I mean, you had some vicious dunks. You had some here dunks. Like the other person's head's almost in the goal.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember people would just get excited because you were like the Dr. J of LSU with the Dominic. You'd start at the free throw line and launch.
I was, like I said, I had young legs back then. I look at the 10-foot goal, I'm like, I can't believe I used to jump that high.
Were you dunking like that in high school back in
I did. I started dunking in the 9th grade, and I started doing trick dunks. You know, a year later, backwards, 360s and all that. And my best friend, Darryl Griffith, he and I, we used to put on a show everywhere we went, you know.
You were talking about the 5 kids that came out the same year in Louisville. All of them played in NBA.
Oh, man, yeah.
5.
Yeah, it was amazing, man. We had so many high school All-Americans. The first game of my senior year was against my best friend, Darryl Griffith and Bobby Turner. They played at Male High. We had like 11,000 people. And they turned away 4,000. And that's when Art Tolis, LSU assistant coach, bumped into my father going out the gate. And he was in my living room when I got home.
Now, football fans would want to know this. Did you ever play any football?
In junior high, I played defensive end and offensive tackle. Back then,
You've been a heck of a wide receiver, Rudy.
Oh, man. No, back then you had a weight restriction.
Okay.
And so I played a little of that, but I was taller than a lot of other kids, so everybody had a tendency to hit me in my knee.
Okay.
I hated that. But then the tryouts came for basketball, and so I said, let me go try out for the basketball team.
And that was it.
Well, the coach was going to cut me because that was my first time playing. In the 8th grade, I started late because I came from football. And he said, well, I'm going to keep you, see if you improve. Well, middle of the year, I became a starter. And I knew then I was on my way.
Who's your favorite NFL team?
The Los Angeles Rams.
Since your childhood, right?
Since the 6th grade, yeah.
Well, I always like to
I was 6 years old, I'm sorry.
Because people say, well, you know, Yankees, and it's like, when? Since 15?
No, I was 6
You were
years old.
growing up following them.
Yeah, my father bought me an electric football game, and they had the Cowboys and the Rams, and the Rams became my favorite team. And I followed the Rams ever since, 6 years old, yeah.
Well, I was happy when the Steelers beat Vince Ferragamo in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry about that. That was the last Super Bowl win by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Terry Bradshaw, Mel Blount, Mean Joe Green, Donnie Shell, John Stallworth, Lynn Swan. Great team. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Well, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even bend over. I didn't want to resort to pain pills, so I chose Peak, hoping they could relieve the pain. They got me active again. I even lost weight. I believe in better. I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
I spent years suffering from knee pain, so I decided to have replacement surgery. My doctor did a great job, and he allowed me to choose Peak for my PT. I should have done this a long time ago. I'm so glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
I'll leave for a little while. And all you other letters think you can take over my town. Look at you. No issues even involved. If the people want the money they deserve for their accident.
The E-guarantee.
And as for you other letters, it's time you were erased.
Welcome back, Lee Burkeen, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We have Rudy Macklin, former LSU great, and later in the show, Aaron Meyer, the head coach of White Castle, who played at UCLA and also at John Curtis High School, was a center. And he was a very athletic center. He was highly recruited, turned down a lot of colleges, finished at Nicholls State, transferred back home, signed with two other teammates that year from John Curtis. But we want to go to some video. We've got some video. Rudy Macklin, back in the day, LSU.
Oh, no.
Check this out.
Basketball fans, plus millions more watching on national television. LSU controlled the tip and
You remember this, Rudy? This game? Indiana?
That's it.
left Indiana center Ray Tolbert flat-footed.
Oh, that was a nightmare there. Bobby Knight had a game plan of putting two big men on me. If I got by one, I had to face the other.
Twin Towers.
Yeah, it made it very difficult, you know.
LSU took a brief three-point lead at 5-2, but neither team could pull away. The point guard for each team, Indiana's Thomas and LSU's Martin, proved their worth in the early going. Thomas's drive with just over 3 minutes gone gave the Hoosiers an 8-7
Isaiah
lead.
Thomas. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Proved costly when he was assessed his second personal foul on a charging ball. Martin provided the Tigers a 9-8 advantage.
Boy, Ethan was so good at driving.
Thomas hurried up court, hit Randy Whitman. Indiana 13, LSU 11. Moments later, Martin found senior All-America Rudy Macklin. LSU 16, Indiana 14.
Good memories, bad memories, huh?
No, that was the bad one.
Bobby Knight just seemed to have the number. With
Well,
LSU.
he had one game plan. His assistant coach told me years later that they watched the game film and they saw I was not going to move out of a certain area. So he said he's going to put Landon Turner on me. He was like 6'10". And he said if I got by Landon, I would make sure 6'9" Ray Tolbert was there to meet me. And he said if he could shut me down, then the rest of them would kind of fold. That was his game plan.
It's tough.
You know?
It's a tough deal to do.
Yeah.
Got some questions for you just to make people can get to know you a little bit. You said you didn't have a favorite NBA team, but you have a favorite NBA player?
A favorite NBA player back then for me was, it was two. I'm going to give you two. Dr. J was my man.
Julius Erving?
Yeah, but I learned how to rebound from Wes Unseld.
Come on.
From Louisville. And
Another huge
I
name.
watched him. I watched his footwork. I watched how he posted up. I watched how he boxed out, and him being 6'7", and I copied everything he did.
Because y'all the same height.
Yep, he taught me. Watching him, I learned how to rebound.
Hobbies. What's your favorite hobbies?
I love to bowl, man.
You know, you don't hear that much anymore.
Man, I love
I
bowling.
grew up doing that.
I bowl Thursday nights, man. I bowl in the league.
My dad would take me and my sister when we were little to go bowling on Sundays and Saturdays.
Oh, I love bowling, man.
We used to go to Circle Bowl back in the day.
Yeah,
here
I
in
go to
Baton Rouge.
All-Star Lanes,
All-Star
and on
Lanes.
Thursday nights, strikes and spares
You
over
ever,
there.
you ever hit 300?
Close.
290, 286?
I've been there. I'm going to get it one day. I'm gonna get it one day.
Serious about it too, though.
Oh
right?
yeah,
You compete.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I compete. You know,
A
I'm
league of
serious.
its own.
Got a league, man, and we have mostly fun for us.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
I love it. You know.
How many years you been doing that bowling?
Oh man, during the 1997, during the Foster administration.
Okay.
David Hood, the head of our Department of Health, said he wanted to boost morale because the administration changed over. So I started a bowling league for the Department of Health. It was Department of Health and Hospitals then. And we had a bunch of people. And so the league, I stayed with the league, and then the league dissolved because people transferred and moved on and retired. And they started the Strikes and Spares League. I stayed with it, and I've been hooked with it ever since. Hooked every since, man. Yeah.
I got to say this, not just to agree with Rudy, but when I was in Louisville, I went to a bowling alley to eat. And it was the biggest bowling alley I've been to in my life, downtown Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
So it's popular where you're from, too.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I just love doing it. Yeah.
Best game you've ever played in as a basketball player?
In college, it was when Kentucky was #1, and they came here, and the PMAC was just sold out. I mean, it was standing room only.
Crazy.
And we beat them with 2 overtimes, and I missed 1 shot the whole game, but the reserves came in and finished it off with Willie Sims at the helm, and it was awesome. And in the NBA, my best game was against my idol, Dr. J. It was my first game.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I earned his respect.
Could anybody jump farther out than Dr. J to this day?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
a lot of people do it now.
He was
but back then he
unbelievable.
was like the first.
It's like he was just like
he made it
an angel flying in
the
the
big
sky.
hands and if you want to earn the respect of the older players, you have to bring your best game, and I earned his respect, and that made me feel really good. I grew up watching him at the Colonels, and I had a great game against him, my first game, and we battled back and forth. And so that always stand out in my mind.
Did he tell you anything after the game?
Yeah, he did. He said, "Man, great game." And then we had to see him. We had to play him again like 4 games later, and man, he gave it to me.
That was it.
He put it to me that time. He played defense that time, and then I got him back. Later on that season. So we went back and forth, and so
Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah.
Most talented teammate.
In college?
In college.
Oh, Willie Sims. Willie Sims, he would have started anywhere in the country. He was the most, in practice, you couldn't stop him. Willie could go 2-man, play two guard. He could play some 3, he could play the point guard.
Small forward.
He could be physically strong, had the best pull-up mid-range game I've ever seen. He reminded me of an Oscar Robertson type of game. You know, just we couldn't guard him, you know, but he excelled coming off the bench as a 6-man, and he could have left and went anywhere and started, but he loved it here.
Speaking of Oscar Robertson, his statue's at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Not far from where you
Not far
from.
Yeah. I grew
Just
up watching him
basketball,
too.
the basketball community there.
Oh yeah.
How much are you a football fan?
Every Saturday morning during football season, you will see me on my couch.
With the remote?
Yes, I love college football. I love
See,
college
people
football.
didn't know that probably.
Yes, I watch college. I don't care who's playing.
What do you like most, Rudy? I mean, you were a star player in basketball. What do you like most about college football?
Oh, man, the offensive line play.
The blocking.
Yeah, I like to watch blocking schemes.
You lose in the trenches, you lose.
Yeah, because if everybody follows the quarterback and where he throws the ball, I'm watching the blocking schemes. I love what goes on in the trenches, man, the battles that go on. Because no play can work unless those 5 guys up front win those one-on-one battles.
Like you played forward in college.
Yeah,
battles down low.
You got to win those battles, man. You got to want to be there. And I was a physical player, playing down low all the time. I love contact. I love elbowing people every now and then.
What's your thoughts on the Saints being 6-1?
Well, being a Los Angeles Rams fan,
you took some abuse last year, huh?
Oh, I lost Facebook friends and everything. But if I don't cheer from the Rams, if the Rams are not playing the Saints, then I cheer for the Saints. And so I'm happy for the Saints. I'm happy for Teddy Bridgewater because he played at Louisville. And Drew Brees coming back, the Saints is really going to be the contender. But our Rams, we're not through yet. we're not done.
Teddy played at Miami Northwestern High School in Miami, Florida. Hey, not bad. Their last 2 Miami quarterbacks are doing pretty good. They got another one at Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Another Louisville guy.
Another Louisville guy.
That's right. Lamar Jackson.
Quarterback Patino U, Louisville, Kentucky.
That's right.
Rudy, don't go anywhere. We're going to bring you back. We got Coach Aaron Meyer coming in, a great young coach from White Castle High School, played at UCLA, played for J.T. Curtis at John Curtis in New Orleans. We will be right back.
I'm injury lawyer E. Eric Gerard. There's a Superman comic where he leaves Earth and comes back only to find a bunch of other superheroes trying to fight evil but just not getting the job done. Well, I'm back. Now there's all these other lawyers on TV saying they can help you with your injury claim, but something's just not the same. There's only one Superman, and there's only one E. E. Eric Gerard. eGuarantee.com. Get the E. Guarantee.
Hi, we are live with the PPTV network where one of the top athletes is about to make his important decision. We know his character and nothing will hold him back.
I'm glad to have my family and friends here for this choice. It's more than my career. It will affect the rest of my life. I choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The decision is in. Why choose Peak?
Their reputation and their record of success is unmatched.
When it matters most, another patient chooses Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and micro-encapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The Wright team, the Wright Group.
Welcome back, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We still have Rudy Macklin joining us. I'm going to introduce Aaron Meyer. Later in the show, we got C.J. Alexander, a Hall of Famer from Southeastern Louisiana. Donaldsonville was a coach there for 27-plus years, a great guy. And we also have our call-ins, Hargon and also Coach Gatlin. We have a call-in this segment. But I want to introduce Aaron Meyer. Aaron, thanks for joining us, man, all the way from White Castle High School. Doing a great job. I remember when you were in high school, we were talking about it before the show, but you were one of the best centers in the state at John Curtis. And you played the whole O-line basically for JT, but you signed with UCLA, 2 of your teammates, the same year. What was it like signing with UCLA, and why West Coast? Because not a lot of them John Curtis guys go to UCLA.
Well, I mean, West Coast was something different. It was something new. It was a new opportunity to be able to, experience something in college that you never really get a second chance to do. So definitely wanted to have the, best experience I possibly could. And I was definitely encouraged to, experience as much as I could. So it was pretty fun.
What'd you like most about Westwood?
$1.50s. They had a hamburger place right at the end of campus. 2004, 2005, 2008.
You always remember the food. You don't forget
and it was
the
called $1.50 because everything there cost $1.50.
And as a student, that matters a lot, Both your teammates are still on the West Coast. As of today, you told me one's a teacher.
Fred is at Arizona Western. He's an academic counselor. Chris Johnson is living in San Diego, doing well in the San Diego area.
And then you came back to finish at Nicholls State. Were you homesick a little bit?
No, I actually graduated and I was done. And
before the transfer portal.
Before the transfer portal, I was a graduate transfer before it was cool. So I graduated. I had a year left. Coach Jay Thomas was like, I was coming and getting enrolled into the teaching program anyway. So played that year of football at Nicholls and then it was done after
Now
that.
you're a head football coach at White Castle.
I am.
Y'all are 4-3, and y'all are having the best season in about 5 years.
Definitely since I've been there, so I know it's definitely for
Ronald
3.
Martin came out of White Castle, played at LSU with the Jets. He's still in the league. Jairus Edwards went to ULM of Monroe. He was on the same team with Ronald Martin. They weren't heavily recruited. And you got a quarterback now.
Yeah,
and Rudy needs to hear this. Rudy's seen him at Broadmoor. There's been sleepers come out of schools.
Definitely.
But your senior quarterback is a phenomenal athlete. Talk about your quarterback.
Oh, Javier Baptiste is just a great kid. He does everything we ask him to do. He really sets himself apart by studying the playbook and getting on the film. That's been, I think, his biggest change and attribute. You know, just loving to watch tape and loving to break down guys and find out, you know, not are they containing, but how they contain. You know, so.
Coach, we've got some film we're going to show of your team. And well, hey, first of all, look, Jay, throwback, man. The Patriots, John Curtis.
That's old.
Yo line days, man, back in the day. That's UCLA days.
Definitely.
Look a little West Coast there.
Yeah, growing up a little bit, not much.
This is you in Westwood. Look like you hit the weight room a little bit.
Just a couple days.
A little bit.
Great picks, man.
Great. A Bruin, man. You know, when are the Bruins going to win again?
It's been
a long time, man.
It's been a long time, but it rotates in the city. So when SC's building, then, you know, guys are going for early playing time. You know how things are nowadays. It's a unique place because school at UCLA is not the most helpful. It's very challenging. So there are a lot of people who come there and kind of get lost in the wash a little
Jim
bit.
Mora couldn't turn it around.
He was doing it for a little while.
He tried.
But, when he put the black uniforms on, I was like, whoa.
That's not UCLA.
It's not UCLA, boss. You might get a little pushback. Might get a little pushback.
It's blue, man.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
blue and gold, man.
Strange.
We got some film too of your guys, your team. Me and Rudy can take this in, but this. Look at this is Javier Baptiste.
Yeah.
Look at the speed on this guy.
Oh man, he's a phenomenal.
He's
man.
coasting, and they're running like it's that they need to get in better shape. He's just coasting by him. He's waving at him eating a sandwich, man. I mean, look at that. But this kid is special, and he could be, Coach, what, a running back? He could be a corner. He could be a receiver.
He could be everything you're saying. He's slot receiver is probably his best position in cornerback.
Got a good little arm on him.
Definitely. He dropped that one in the bucket for us. Great at that point in the second quarter. But like I said, he just watches so much tape and studies guys so much to try to find out what do they do.
You saw that turn? Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at his hips.
Oh, he's special, man.
Look at that.
He is special.
He puts the game away later with a 2-point conversion on here, and
he's just a gamer.
He's definitely. And Coach, I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't call him a gamer because he plays like that 7 days a week.
Wow.
Every time.
Monday morning, he's preparing the same way.
It's good to have a guy like that as a coach.
Yeah,
Definitely.
But, you know, the defensive coordinators are watching this right now to have to play you in the future. And they're going, whoa, we don't over-pursue this guy.
No.
Because he's going to take off.
Definitely puts it in the foot.
What you think of that, Rudy?
Man, he has the it
You've
factor.
seen some good ones at Broadmoor. You've been helping Broadmoor.
That's my volunteer. That's my
Rusty
volunteer.
Price?
Yep, that's my volunteer school where I volunteer, and I'm the PA announcer for the football games.
Nope, I ran into you way back doing that. I wanted to get a roster and went, Rudy Macklin.
Oh yeah, that's my school, man. That's my school.
Keith Foster was pretty good at quarterback.
Oh yeah.
They had Bucky Richardson was there.
Yeah, man, I go way back with them.
Billy Cannon Jr. We had on the show his stuff. It should be in the Hall of Fame. And there was tons of good teams. You were speaking about John Curtis.
Yeah.
I want to give you a chance.
You know, Broadmoor, they always trip up John Curtis every now and then.
Back in the day, that was kind of a, yeah.
They didn't trip us.
Aaron, were you on one of those teams?
My team won.
Not the one before you?
No, not the Goose Egg Gang. The Goose Egg Gang didn't win against Broadmoor, but we got to go get the mojo down here in Baton Rouge when we come down there and play.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to have a Hall of Fame coach, guys, C.J. Alexander. Donaldsonville High School is in the Southeastern Hall of Fame. Honored to have him. He's going to join us. We're going to have a call-in from Coach Gatlin, and also we got a big-time recruit from Captain Shreve Hargon, a big-time linebacker. We'll be right back.
This throbbing neck pain was so bad it moved to my shoulders and was causing severe headaches. Then a friend suggested I choose Peak. 2 weeks later, the pain was completely gone. So glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
I'll leave for a little while. And all you other letters think you can take over my town. Look at you. None issues even involved. If the people want the money they deserve for their accident.
The E-guarantee.
And as for you other letters, it's time you were erased.
My shoulder pain got so bad I couldn't lift anything overhead. So I chose Peak Performance, and I can't believe how much better I am now. Peak really does get you back into the game of life. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Welcome back, Lee Burkeen, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We'll have Coach Gatlin calling in a few minutes from Shreveport, who he has a quarterback that's thrown for over 8,000 yards and 80 touchdowns. He's 5'11", but speaking of Louisville, it's the Louisville show. Stephon LaFleurs, who's now coaching at Parkview Baptist, he was 5'11" at Christian Life Academy. He goes to Louisville, makes All-American. 5'11", Baker Mayfield. Kyler Murray, 5'9". Hey, it's his height, if you got it, right? But we want to welcome legendary coach C.J. Alexander to the show. C.J., thank you. I'm honored for you to be here.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. I'm honored to be here.
I've seen you in town, and I ran into you recently. You told me you watched the show.
Right.
And I'm like, Coach, I appreciate that, man. But you spent 27 years between Plaquemine and Donaldsonville and as a high school coach. And do you miss it?
Not really.
No?
It'd be hard for me to coach today because I was a strong disciplinarian.
Okay.
And
Old school.
I had rules that pertained to everyone. So if they broke them, they got the consequences.
Coach, we got another coach that's a strong, disciplined guy, Coach Gatlin, calling in from Northwood. Coach, thanks for being with us.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all.
Coach, we have legendary C.J. Alexander on the show from Plaquemine and Donaldsonville here. And Rudy Macklin, former LSU basketball great. And Aaron Meyer, former John Curtis. You don't play Curtis, so that's good.
That is good. It's good for him, but it's good that we don't play him.
Or White Castle, so that's where he coaches. But, Coach, what's going on at Northwood? And Bogan, your quarterback, is one of the best quarterbacks, I think, in the country. I was bragging about him to everybody. We've got some film on your team that we're going to get up in a few seconds. But what is it like in that tough district this year, as always, every week?
Bogan's having a great year. I think he's up over 1,700 yards passing already. So everything looks good there. But we haven't put, and I think these old coaches would – haven't put 4 quarters together yet this season, and that's frustrating us, and it's really the reason that we've lost 2 ball games. We've been able to play good at parts, but when we're playing these good teams, we got to have 4 quarters. We haven't had that yet, and so with the Evangel game, we played well the first quarter, first half, and then just fell apart later.
Here's your star. We're showing highlights of your star receiver, DeTontre Brown, who runs a 4.4. This guy can fly.
And he's big. He's long. He's about 6'2", about 190 pounds, very strong hands, and he's been good to us. And now he's facing a lot of double coverages and stuff like that, and we've got to figure out a way to still get him the ball.
And here's Patrick Marshall going about 85 yards to star running back.
Patrick is that Patrick or Cook? What number is that? Patrick or Cook?
I don't know. He ran so fast, Coach, I couldn't see it.
He's our junior, Terrence Cook. Patrick is actually a better DB than he is running back.
And here's Julian Wyatt. We're showing Julian Wyatt.
Yeah, number 11. He's going to be a good one for us, yes.
And-
That's the one that
And here's
I
Seth.
think's got as much potential as Brown does.
And here's Seth Warren. You got all kind of talent on offense, Coach.
And I'll tell you, the fastest one on the team is Seth Warren. Fastest one we got. You know, he made the state track meet in the 110s and the 300 hurdles, so he could go anchors or relays.
Coach, we got to let these people in South Louisiana are going, wow, unbelievable. But tell us about Bogan and what's going on with Bogan. Or is any big schools brave enough to give him an offer?
Coach, that's the frustrating part. You know, he was a little, hurt last year, wasn't 100%. Most of the quarterbacks wouldn't have even played last year, but, his dad being on staff and him being ready to go. And, so he's 100% now, Coach. He's 6 foot, maybe even a little over. He's 185, 90 pounds, back in the weight room now since the shoulder problems are corrected. But I don't understand why he hasn't had any D1 offers. It's just frustrating to us, and I know it's frustrating to him and his family. So that's I think after the season, hopefully there'll be some good offers for him. But it's weird because he's definitely throwing the ball well, and he's so smart.
Yeah.
That's the whole part of him is he gets us in and out of plays so much more than we turn it over to him on the field, and he calls it, makes decisions. And that's the besides the arm and the touch that he has on the ball, just the middle part of the game is why he's so good.
Well, Coach, good luck to you, and keep doing a great job. I mean, I met you when you were at Parkway way before that, and just keep doing a great job. I'm definitely a huge fan of that offense and what you've done with that program, and this might be the year. You never know.
We got to get on a little roll here, but we still have time. And, got a big game with Leesville coming up. Got a good long this week, which will be tough. Then Leesville, big playoff team. So we're good. But hey, guys, appreciate what y'all do for high school football, man. I really do.
Thank you, Coach Gatlin. And they got to play Leesville that has 3 1,000-yard rushers coming back from last year.
Wow.
And Rudy and Coach CJ and Aaron, they had 4 of them last year that ran for 1,000. 3 of them are juniors that are SEC backs on one team. Now, they don't have they lost their whole defense, but you can't stop 4 running backs in high school football. It's like having 4 6'8" forwards in high school basketball.
That is amazing.
What you think about that, CJ? You ran for 1,300 yards in college. You were a great running back.
When I was a senior, we played Breaux Bridge in the playoffs. And they had 3 1,000-yard running backs. We beat them 24-0.
Come on.
Yeah.
Great defense, huh?
Yeah, we were pretty good.
But CJ, you well known among the high school coaches, and a lot of coaches watch the show, and you're 27 years of coaching high school football, but a lot of people don't realize you're in the Southeastern Hall of Fame as a running back.
Yeah.
And you were a pretty good running back.
I played there 2 years.
2 years. You left LSU, you went to
played,
Hines?
I went to Hines, and I'm in that Hall of Fame at Hines, and I'm in the National Junior College Hall of Fame. So the 2 schools, I got 4 Hall of Fame years.
Is there any more Hall of Fames coming up, or?
Well, I got some more. My high school put me in the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago.
Come on.
Yeah. And the National Junior College Hall of Fame was for offensive back, because I only played 1 year at Hines.
And you got that, and I think that's where Jimmy Taylor went too, huh? Was it
Yeah,
Hines?
yeah.
You and Jimmy Taylor went to
Yeah.
the same school. We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back. We got more C.J. Alexander, Coach Aaron Meyer, and Rudy Macklin. We'll be right back.
The Wright Group has been dedicated to enriching lives for over 100 years. With its roots in Louisiana, it branches across the U.S. and around the world. The Wright Group is a key supplier and contributor to the functional food, sports nutrition, supplement, and health and fitness markets, supplying customized nutritional blends, vitamin and mineral premixes, and micro-encapsulated ingredients, leading the way in customer service and innovation, fueling the way we live. The Wright team, the Wright Group.
I'm injury lawyer E. Eric Gerard. There's a Superman comic where he leaves Earth and comes back only to find a bunch of other superheroes trying to fight evil, but just not getting the job done. Well, I'm back. Now there's all these other lawyers on TV saying they can help you with your injury claim, but something's just not the same. There's only one Superman, and there's only one E. E. Eric Gerard. eGuarantee.com. Get the E. Guarantee.
Hi, we are live with the PPTV network, where one of the top athletes is about to make his important decision. We know his character, and nothing will hold him back.
I'm glad to have my family and friends here for this choice. It's more than my career. It will affect the rest of my life. I choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
The decision is in. Why choose Peak?
Their reputation and their record of success is unmatched.
When it matters most, another patient chooses Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Honey, what's wrong with the disposer?
What disposer?
Clogged drain? Call Roto-Rooter, America's neighborhood drain expert.
Lee Burkeen, Louisiana Football TV Magazine. Thanks for everybody for watching the show. We got more Rudy Macklin, Coach Aaron Meyer, White Castle, the legendary C.J. Alexander. We're going to go back to C.J., but I wanted to ask Aaron Meyer about this season and compare John Curtis. Are you keeping in track of your old alma mater, John Curtis High School?
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that still coach in the Catholic League, so I watched a couple of their games and they're doing really well.
Any free agency to pick up some players? No, I'm kidding.
No, we don't have, like you always ask about the transfer portal. We don't have it in high school.
Rudy Broadmoor, you still doing play-by-play, and they're hanging in there, they're fighting?
Yeah, they're hanging there fighting. They got a new coach there, and he's trying to change the culture
Cyril
there.
Crutchfield.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of putting it together.
CJ, you had a great story that your last loss in your coaching career was to none other than John Curtis High School.
20-6. Never forget. And that's when they changed the rule from a fumble. If you picked up a fumble and ran it in for a touchdown, then you got a touchdown. But they changed the rule. If came fumble and you recovered it, that's where you had to start the next play.
And that affected the outcome of
that affected our kids.
Yeah. What did you enjoy most about high school football, CJ, coaching?
Having coached at the high school that the only state championship that ever won in Donaldsonville, I was a senior. And we beat Delhi High School. And that was a memorable night. We played them up in Delhi.
Up in Monroe, okay.
And we had fires on the bench because we had to play them in December.
Cold.
Oh, was it cold? So we had a fire.
There was no machines back then.
Oh, no, there was nothing. In fact, we had a fire on this end of the bench and a fire on that end of the bench to keep warm. And we...
The only state championship ever, Donaldsonville.
Yeah, they've never won a state championship.
And now Coach Meyer's in that neighborhood. White Castle's not far from it, but...
No, they won quite a few.
Yeah.
Basketball and football. I think y'all won the football, Coach.
2010 they won one. They
Yeah.
won the 6-man and Earl's. I couldn't even tell you the year on that one, but they won the girls basketball, boys basketball. They won their first share time.
Rudy, what do you think of all this, taking us in?
Oh man, I
football?
just admire these guys, man. You know, football. You know, I'm an offensive line guy. I like to watch the blocking schemes and watch them a time or two. And coach, when I first came to Louisiana, I heard about him. And so this is all big time. Just honor just to be sitting next to him.
Rudy, tell everybody what you're doing now.
I work. I run 2 divisions for the governor. I run the Governor's Council on Physical Fitness and Sports. My office is placed in the Department of Health, and also I run the Bureau of Minority Health Access. And so we have 38 Olympic-style sporting events across the state, and we just keep getting bigger and bigger. We just one of the top councils in the country.
You've been doing it for 27 years.
27 years, and I run the Bureau of Minority Health.
Just a couple of days, huh?
Yeah, it's time consuming, but I love what I do, and the governor's been very supportive, and all the governors I've worked for throughout the years have been very supportive of the things we do.
I've got to ask you this, because LSU fans will be upset with me if I don't, but the LSU basketball team, the talent coming back, what do you think? Their potential?
Well, they lost Bigsby Williams. I think that's the most important loss to him because he stopped up the middle, and you need that.
Shot blocker.
And Waters, whenever you need a bucket, he gave it to you. And Naj Reid, with his ability to play inside and out, they're going to miss that 3, those 3 guys. And so it'd be interesting to see who's going to take up the slack. But I don't think they're going to be as big and physical inside as before. But it'd be interesting to see what they come up with. The game is pretty much perimeter now anyway. So
they might have to become Auburn this year.
Yeah. So,
outscore people.
Oh, yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see what they come up with.
Auburn had that crazy style of shoot as fast as you can. And if you're off, you lose by 30. If you're on, you win by 40.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of three-point line.
Grew up in that era where it really
I'm
wasn't
a mid-range game, man.
Aaron, any thoughts on basketball too, or did you play any basketball?
No, not really.
You had the size to block people out, man.
More of a fan. I let those guys run and fly above my head.
You go to any Curtis basketball games growing up?
Not really growing up. I had a cousin, Dylan Gordon, play. So when they won the state championship, I watched him a little bit. Watched him a little bit, but I kind of just admire from afar with it.
CJ, what was the best game that sticks out to you as a player? You ran for 1,300 yards in one season in college. I mean, you were a heck of a running back.
I would think the state championship game.
Donaldsonville.
Because I had the only person who could beat me in a 100-yard dash was Billy.
Billy Cannon Sr.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was a freshman at LSU, and he was a senior at Struma.
Okay.
And he'd come to LSU, and we'd run against him, you know. But I ran a 9.800.
Wow.
Well,
that's moving.
And I weighed 95 pounds.
You were strong and could run.
I was the biggest kid on the team.
Coach, thanks for coming today. Coach Meyer. Rudy, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Be sure to watch the show all week long. We're statewide. Thanks to the Marriott Hotel for being our hotel for guests that do come in some weeks where they need a room, parents and coaches. You're watching Louisiana Football TV Magazine. We'll see you next week.